Hey guys, California Phantom. You stumbled across this video, you don't like drones, you don't like them out in your neighborhood, you go to the park with your family, your friends, you're seeing drones, you go to the river maybe, you see the drones, you don't really like them, you don't really understand them, but you don't want them in the air. This video is meant for you. So I live in California, and unfortunately the laws, the way that they're shaping, is more and more cities are leaning towards an outright ban. Now, if you're against drones, I can see why you're celebrating that, but this video isn't necessarily here to change your mind. It's more just dispelling the negative stigma and the myths that are associated with drones. Now, looking at cities such as Irvine, looking at Laguna Beach, looking at various cities from Southern California all the way to Northern California, I'm noticing in studying a trend. I'm seeing that more and more cities are creating ordinances that outright ban drones, yet at the same time they're writing exemptions to allow law enforcement and search and rescue access to drones. So I can only speak on behalf of myself, but this question goes out to you. Would you rather have this, or would you rather have this?
There's a wave of local capability just on the horizon, from cameras to drones.
There's a lot of law enforcement agencies and firefighting agencies that are looking to use the technology.
Well over 1,000 local agencies have applied for drone permits across the country, from police departments in Miami-Dade and Houston, Texas, to the Ohio Department of Transportation.
We're looking at a future where, police departments could deploy dozens or even hundreds of these flying robotic video cameras over an entire neighborhood or city.
So some things to consider for those of you who are not interested in drones but don't quite understand the laws. Some common sense approach is when you see drones out at the park or a river or wherever you're at with your family, first and foremost, know that drones are not legally allowed to fly over anybody. So if you see a drone pilot flying over people in a reckless manner, they're flying very low, they're buzzing over you, you know that they're being reckless. You can capture them on film, you can report them to the authorities, either the FAA or local law enforcement. You're doing a good thing. And that's coming from somebody who loves drones and hopes the laws remain and continue to go towards a pathway of tolerance. I do have to accept that there's idiots out there. No matter what technology comes to fruition, there's going to be stupid people out there that make dumb decisions. So understand that you cannot legally fly over people. I don't care what certification, your 333, 107, whatever. You can't fly over people that you're not got specific contracts with, specific agreements and waivers with the FAA. So if you're out at the river, you're out at the park, you're noticing somebody's flying over people, chances are that person is being reckless. Take a picture, take some video, report them to the FAA, report them to local law enforcement. You're doing a good thing. So without an exemption or a special waiver from the FAA, drone pilots are not allowed legally to fly their drone closer than 5 miles to a nearest airport. So if you know for a fact definitively that you're inside of 5 miles to a major airport or an airport, and that pilot's being reckless, that pilot's flying his drone exceptionally high, you see a lot of air traffic, and you have some concerns, again, report them to the FAA, picture, video, and local law enforcement as well. The biggest misconception when it comes to drone flying as a hobbyist or as a commercial pilot that I encounter is that we're all spying on you, that the only sole purpose the drone is in the air is to film inappropriately individuals and people and little children, and 99.9% of the time that's just simply not the case. So what I want to do is take this time to demonstrate from the ground, you viewing a drone up in the sky, and judging based on that height, we're going to actually show you footage from the drone of what the drone sees. The main reason why I'm showing you this is that many people view drones as this intrusive, I'm trying to spy on you device. And in actuality, if you see that drone at that certain height, at that certain distance away from you, you understand that they don't have zoom technology. They're not a Predator drone that the US Army has. Their ability to watch you as an individual is very, very small. It's actually no different than somebody walking around with an SLR camera taking pictures of the trees and the scenery and the river. What we see here is a drone at 50 feet. It looks pretty close in the camera, but as we zoom out, we get a better picture of how far away that drone really is. Now what I'm going to go at is I'm going to go at 75 and 100 feet, which is a typical height for a drone. Most drones are going to be at least 75 to 100 feet. That's what you're seeing at 75 feet, folks. The drone really can't see anything. Even if the image is blown up, it's going to be pretty poor quality. And that's a very low height for a drone. It's at 75 feet. Typically, they're going to be 100 feet. So typically the drone's going to be 100 feet to 150 feet. So I'll take it to 125 to show you what that looks like on the drone's level. So I took it to 125 to show you what the drone sees you down on the ground. You're a speck. No information can be taken from that, and that's at 125 feet. What the drone sees, however, is what they're after, which is this beautiful shot. Even though you may spot it using a binocular or a camera phone, the drone's not looking at you. It's actually panning around Elk Grove downtown at Bartholomew Park, and it's just stunning, beautiful scenescape. And that's what the drone pilot's after. The lure that drawed me in was I'm taking a flight every day without ever leaving the ground. I get to watch this beautiful area, and I get to go to beautiful places, and I get to observe it from a unique and different perspective. And that's the key. It's just perspective. It's okay to have a negative perspective of drones. It's natural because it's new and it's seemingly intrusive. But the reality is the drone pilot can't see you, couldn't care less about you individually. They're just there to get beautiful footage. So I completely understand where you guys are coming from. The way that movies and television depict drones isn't exactly 100% accurate.
Hands where I can see them. Bring it down.
I'm not the one controlling it.
Cover them.
So the reality is that drones are becoming more and more part of everyday life. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that doesn't seem like it's slowing down in the slightest. The important thing to take home is don't believe what you see on the TV, movies, television shows. They're not real. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you fully understand what it means to be a drone pilot, the way that the industry is headed. We're not all criminals. We're not all out there to film your children, film your wives, film your husbands. We're really here to capture the nature and the beauty of the environment. Drones really are not capable of zooming in at this point in time. They're not really made for that. It's really just a fun hobby that is expanding and ever-changing, and I really hope you guys take that to heart. When you do spot a drone, you don't automatically want to do this.
Get some people here.
You're assaulting me, you asswipe! Oh!
Yeah, that's right.
So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope I've dispelled what it is to actually be a drone pilot, how it is to fly a drone, what you're seeing when you're seeing a drone in the sky. They're not there to film your children, your wives, your husbands. They're there conducting an innocent hobby. They're there to film the environment. If you're in an awesome place, you're in a river somewhere cool up in the hills, you're at a local park that's very picturesque, chances are they're there for that very same reason. They want to capture that beauty. They want to capture that nature. It's completely an innocent hobby. Now, I hope I've provided you with the tools you need, or a better understanding of when somebody's performing reckless acts, so that you can take the necessary steps of reporting him. Because as a drone pilot, to you guys, anybody who's conducting reckless flights, anybody's flying in illegal space, they shouldn't be a drone pilot. They shouldn't own a drone. You're ruining it for other people. You're ruining it for the industry. The industry's relatively emerging, so you guys got to fly responsibly. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you like this video, please hit that like. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Leave a comment for me. Let me know if I've missed anything. And a reminder to those on the last video, we got about a week left before I give out those ND filters. So the last video I made talked about the Freewell ND filters. Go ahead and watch that video if you haven't already. Leave a comment and make sure yourself is subscribed so that you can be eligible to win those ND filters. And that's pretty much it, guys. Till the next adventure.